The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Video Games to the Max. And we actually did we did a whole show on Friday night, but I did not hit the record button, apparently. So here we are.
Someone messed it up, and that wasn't me. So
Yeah.
there's only one other suspect in this equation.
So here we are trying to do take two. This may work out better since some other news has come out since Friday that we can actually talk about. And, this is, of course, episode 160 of this show, and we are the W2Mnet Video Games Podcast, and, of course, also in partnership with ForumMania.com. So, Mark,
Howdy.
we have a new doctor. It's a female doctor, and the internet has gone insane, as you'd expect.
Yeah, people are idiots.
I mean, in Doctor Who canon, as long as it's not a ginger, you're good. So.
Well, there's been, at least in one of the audiobooks, the doctor was a female. Like, he regenerated into a female, which is actually pretty funny. And then there was the, comedy special written by Stephen Moffat, where the doctor eventually became a female also.
Yeah, and it's not Stephen Moffat's fault or anything. I think I saw a lot of people blaming him as if the guy that's exiting has anything to do with that. But let people dream, I guess.
I saw one thing. Twitter was one person on Twitter was what was it? I don't care about who's playing the doctor. I want better writing. And I'm just thinking the show's writing for this season has been really good. And for last season also.
Yeah, exactly. Since Capaldi's been on.
Well, even since Moffat has took over, I wasn't particularly a big fan of Russell T Davies writing in the show.
There's a lot of people that can't stand Moffat, though.
Yeah, I think because he kind of came up. He was a fan first. Then he kind of came up with fandom to a certain degree.
Right.
But they're also idiots.
Yeah, I mean, what do you make of the people going to the extreme of, well, I'm done being a fan of Doctor Who. The PC hordes have won.
I say fine. Go screw off. You can go watch a billion other things probably.
I mean, we are in a golden age of TV, so there are plenty of things to watch if you don't want to watch Doctor Who because there's a gender change.
I did see one other good comment about this. I think, idiotic guy was basically when are we going to get a male version of Wonder Woman, Miss Marple, Xena, and Laura Croft? And I'm thinking well,
you have one.
Yeah, there's Superman. There's I think at least 3 other detectives that are more famous than Miss Marple. I didn't even know who that character was. I had to look it up. There's Hercules, and then there's also Indiana Jones and Nathan Drake. Yeah. So,
it's what do you want? A male version of that exact character? I mean, you pretty much have it just in a different form. So
only if the male version is also wearing a stars and stripes garter, a bodice.
Yeah, it just the people just going insane. And the dumb thing too is they're gonna wind up watching that first episode just so they can complain about. See, I told you. Look at the ratings, guys. Look at the ratings. Do you think that's gonna affect it at all? Will there really be a drop in ratings because the doctor's a woman now?
I saw a good graphic, I think, on Twitter also that was basically it was a circular thing where it's basically like step 1, they announce a new doctor and everyone's up in arms. Step 2 is people watch it and they go like, oh, it's an okay doctor. Step 3 is this is the best doctor ever. Step 4 is like the actor leaves and then there's speculation about who the new actor is, and go back to step 1.
It's pretty true. I just love the exaggeration too of the, oh my god, it's the best doctor ever. I mean, yeah, like it's hard with, going from Eccleston to Tennant, which I really, really liked Eccleston.
Yeah,
Tennant is really great, but
I think Eccleston, I don't think he was a fan of the show at all. I think he kind of just did it as kind of a lark, or he was just kind of bored. Like he didn't seem that invested in the role. I think he did do a good job, but he was also kind of underwritten to a certain degree. I mean, women love Tennant. I thought the more I look back on his era, the more I'm kind of jaded by it. Like he did have kind of a lot of annoying tics.
Yeah, he did. I think with Eccleston, it's just by him saying he didn't want to be known as the Doctor, and then getting out after that one season. I think for what he did, even if he wasn't totally invested, it was still really, really good. I mean, it also helps that it was a damn good season too, just all the stories that they had. And then Tennant comes in. He's probably the most beloved Doctor, and then he of the new set. I'm not talking about the old ones, but he, I agree. I think if you watch him long enough, you're going to get tired of him. I think he kind of wears on you as the seasons go on. Especially in the latter parts where they go into those like longer episodes, like the ones that are in parts. He starts kind of getting grating there.
Oh yeah.
And then Matt Smith provided a nice like change of pace. I really enjoyed Matt Smith, so I haven't there's not been a Doctor that I'm like just like, oh, I can't stand him. Each one of them has their qualities.
Forgot about what's his name? Damn, can't remember his name. The War Doctor.
Oh, that's right, the War Doctor.
I'm kidding about him. He was a great actor and everything, but
yeah. The one from the movie or whatever.
No, I meant damn, what's his name? John Hurt. That's it.
Oh, that's okay. Yes, yeah. He's like there for such a short time. I keep forgetting that he's a doctor.
Unfortunately, they can't get him back.
Right.
There was a female doctor in the like a spin-off audiobook, and ironically, David Tennant was in that audiobook.
The internet's gonna blow up about anything at this point. So that feeling doesn't surprise me at all. I think the going in one direction and saying, well, if you support it, you're an SJW, and if you're in the other direction, you're like, oh my god, you're a masochist or whatever. It's all in how you say it, right?
Yeah. The only criticism I really have is I really hope that isn't the outfit that she's gonna wear. Like, I don't want like a homeless chic doctor. Like,
yeah,
she doesn't need to dress up like Missy. She doesn't need to be like Victorian era dress or anything. But something a little more, I wouldn't necessarily say flattering, but not homeless looking would be nice.
She could wear like the suit part and like a longer skirt. Or, if they want her to wear pants, she can wear pants, whatever. Just, the thing is, too, like, no matter what she wears, unless they have her coming out looking like a guy, there's going to be women complaining that, oh, they've sexed her up for the role or whatever, and it's, there's got to, go ahead.
Go on. I was going to say, if you're going to go follow that logic, just dress her up in all of Amy Pond's old outfits.
Yeah, You know. I mean, there was times where she just was like in a shirt and like jeans. I mean, so
Wait, you mean Amy?
yeah, there was times when she just walking around in a shirt and jeans. So
Yeah, eventually, but they introduced her like wearing like a stripper outfit.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
That's what
But
I meant.
that's like British humor.
That'd be like hilarious if they did that.
Oh God, yeah. The people would be going nuts at this point. Yeah. It's. I mean, look, we could wax on about this, but I mean, I think I haven't watched Jodie Whittaker in anything, so
I've only seen her in one thing, and that was Black Mirror. So I have very little frame of reference for her. I know she hasn't been in like at least one good movie, Tower Block with John Boyega, I think is his last name, the Star Wars guy.
right, yeah.
And I think she was in like one other thing. That's kind of interesting.
Well, she's in Broadchurch, which I always mean to go and watch the English version because I watched I think like 5 episodes of the American version and couldn't stand it. So
from what I know about Broadchurch, the first season is great. The other 2 seasons, not so much.
The thing I've always heard about that is like they needed to end it a lot sooner.
Same thing with like Prison Break. Like they had that show run for 6 years. He escaped out of the prison the first fucking season. Like that's it.
Yeah. Like, well, he broke the prison. He broke out of the prison. So what now?
She's also in a film called Saint Trinans, which I'm kind of interested in seeing because I had a friend of mine in it. But that's about it.
So I mean, do you think they show her in the Christmas special at all, or?
I think she regenerates, and obviously, and she just goes like, "I'm a girl now," or something like that.
Right.
And then makes it obvious like I'm not a ginger joke or something. So that's about it. You know who they should have got? Lindsay Lohan.
Oh my God, no. I don't know. I think that's where I would draw the line. I'm like, no.
What's Ava Marie doing these days? Not wrestling.
Oh yeah, all read everything. Let's get her into this picture. But yeah, I mean, so we're now officially past D23, which was the big thing from this weekend. They showed trailers that they have not shown to the public, which have cool things in them that I'm not going to sit here and talk about words. But they did show Kingdom Hearts trailer, which showcased the new world from Toy Story. I think that looks cool.
I think I like how the game looks. Like they showed that, and they showed I think Mulan or like maybe Hercules World before, like in an earlier trailer. But all the gameplay in that game looks really busy.
Well, yeah, there's a lot going on.
Like, granted, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2.8. I mean, I got it recently, but I haven't fired it up. But I don't remember Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2 looking like that. Or, you're not even on the ground for, like, any of the battles. You're basically just flying around, lighting shit on fire and constantly, like, flipping around. Like, it looks like a Devil May Cry game.
I think this is funny. They're apparently doing a damn interview with Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan on that review. Makes me laugh. Okay, so I think in 2.8, which I haven't played either. I have it. I wanted to get through the other games where I played Birth by Sleep and all that. Apparently in Birth by Sleep, I think is where you start with there's more in the air than on the ground. I think it's also sort of you're seeing a lot of the forms, right? You're seeing the power form and the drill form and the something else. So with the forms, he was in the air a lot more because he would do one attack and he would do like a chain and kill 20 people at once.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what we're seeing more than just the regular old. Okay, he's attacking someone.
Yeah, but he's also getting into a mech suit and stomping around.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks like that's just kind of, it might be for that world because you have all those different toys there.
Oh yeah, but I just mean like even the I want to say it was Mulan before. Like that trailer looked really busy also with that huge train like flying around.
Yeah.
Like, all
He,
right, I'm not
I mean,
even
the
sure what the
Hercules
fuck
one looked busy too.
yeah, I'm not even sure what the fuck is going on the screen. How am I supposed to fight?
I did like that apparently the forms now affect the weapons that you get depending on the world that you're in. And
Oh yeah,
that,
like that drill claw thing and
yeah, the drill claw, the Toy Story thing with the big hammer.
yeah.
And apparently there's like different, like, the special attacks may also be specific to that world too.
So here's a question: do you think they actually get Tom Hanks and Tim Allen to do like Woody and Buzz?
Well, Tim Allen's not doing anything, so you might get him. I mean, I don't see why not. But it's
I
like,
guess
do you really want to pay the money for that, though?
I mean, it'd be nice if they did, like, because some of the VO in at least Kingdom Hearts 2 was not great.
Yeah, no, but I mean, do you want to pay the exorbitant amount of money just to have
Yeah,
them in there for one world,
yeah, but I mean, I don't know if they have it already or not, but I mean, they have to do voiceover for Toy Story 4. Be like, here's 20 extra pages. Go at it.
They might have tried to get that into the contract. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out if they did or not. I mean, a lot of times when they would tie the video game movie to the movie, they would say, okay, go ahead and you need to do the voice acting for this too.
Yeah.
But it looks really good.
Yeah.
I love the action figure sort of look when they're in that world. Interesting that now the key changes automatically. You don't win the key anymore. For like exiting that world, so I wonder if that means you get something else now.
You get a glowing heart.
Did you like the? There's now apparently no limits to the extra characters.
That's good. Like, that was kind of... I mean, I've only been playing Kingdom Hearts 1, but it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, we had to switch them out, and
Yeah.
I always wound up, I think, switching out Donald because that character usually has some kind of magic that he does anyway,
Yeah,
and
but
I
then
just leave it with Goofy.
the problem with that is then Donald gets underpowered eventually. Like, he just kind of gets KO'd in, like, one battle.
Well, then Goofy does the same thing. So
Yeah, I mean, most of the time I just get the power to do the same. Unless... I mean, I like Jack, but I'm not taking him with me. You know, if I could, then I'd like fuck you, Donald, like you're out of here. But
right, yeah, I understand that. I just kind of like having the feeling of, oh, I'm in that world, I want to use one of them or
yeah,
something like that.
unless they're useless like Tarzan.
Yeah, I really didn't care for Tarzan that much. I like like Aladdin and almost all the other ones are good. Just Tarzan. I didn't care for that one. I think what else did they? Well, much to your dismay, the Gummy Ship is back again.
Woo!
So
Party on.
they supposedly revamped it again.
To make it 10% less awful.
I do like it in number 2. In 2, it feels much more like an actual game, and it's a lot more fun. It goes by a lot faster.
I mean, yeah, but I'd just rather have an option that says, like, do you want to skip this? Yes or no? You're like, yes. Just leave the fucking planet.
I agree. I
like,
wish they would just let you fast track.
It'd be nice if there was more of an impetus to actually, like, do good at it, or, you know, if I could get, like, items from it, that'd be cool. But there's not. There's just, like, collect more gummy ship parts. It's like, well, I don't want to do this, so I don't really care either way. I'm just going to hold the fire button down until I either run out of energy or die, so...
Well, I got to the level, almost died, but I got there.
Yeah.
Alright.
I actually had I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 1 off and on, and I had to build a new gummy ship in Kingdom Hearts 1, And that system is awful.
Yeah, and then it looks like half the time the blocks don't even attach to the thing, and you have to figure out if they are or not, and if not, I mean, it doesn't matter because they don't have to be, because you can have it like way on the other side of it, and then it looks terrible.
I did that in my first playthrough on the PS2. I had this gummy ship that was like not connected at all, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's really funny when you're going around, and I mean, the weapons do matter if you put weapons on them, because then it obviously determines where their ratio of attack is. But the other blocks, it's like you can have this row of blocks on the one side that have nothing to do with it, and it's like, this just looks so stupid. I'm glad that they made all these announcements. 2018 now, so it joins Spider-Man and like a million other things from Sony that, well, they'll show up. So
I don't believe that for a damn second that it's coming out in 2018. I mean, it might on like December, but that's about it.
I would think it would be a fall release, but I could see it coming out in like the spring too, if they have things ready. But the fact that they're still doing Japanese VO, that worries me a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, we're already in the summer of 2017. You're still doing Japanese VO. Like, I mean, you think they would have done the voice stuff already.
Maybe it's going to be like Yakuza 0 and they just have no English voice acting.
Oh, way to piss off all the people and the little kids. And I've seen a lot of people, like blind people, play that game because the lock-on thing lets them lock on and kill stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know how that's going to work if you're doing subtitles, but... Yeah, plus, I mean, I want to hear all the character voices and stuff. It sounds... As much as I watch anime in Japanese, it still sounds weird to hear Sora.
They just need to get David Boreanaz back as Squall.
Exactly, that's what I need to be doing. That was sort of the big reveal that we got to see. They did show an Infinity War trailer, but it's all in text of what happened. I mean, what happened sounds really awesome. The Guardians getting to do stuff with Thor and the Avengers and stuff. I mean, it seems like it's going to be what we want that whole thing to be, of just being epic all the time.
Sure. They showed a Spider-Man trailer of the game, but it was basically the same thing. They just basically showed, like, this is how we're building the game. It's like, all right, show something else now, please.
Yeah, well, but I think they know that they have other game...
Well, they also showed off that Marvel VR thing also. Which looked
what was
bad.
that?
Let me see. I forget what it was called. Let me see if I can look it up. Yeah, it's called Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It's an Oculus Rift game.
Oh boy.
Well, like, one of the quotes from one of the guys working on it was basically like, don't expect the game to look like, to be as cool as this. And it's like, no shit. You don't need to say that. Like, I already kind of assumed that to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, it can be like Rocket and Incredible Hulk and probably Iron Man and other characters and stuff, but...
I don't know. I think you'd probably need to refine that quite a bit before just bringing that in.
No, it's called Powers United VR, that's it. But it looks bad.
Alright, so I think everything else was sort of Disney World is getting this and Disneyland's getting that, and whatever. And then that's pretty much it, I think. Everything else was the big reveal, sort of gaming wise, was Kingdom Hearts, and they showed off, I think, some stuff that has to do with the Star Wars movie, and Star Wars people got awards, and that was kind of what I got out of that. Honestly, Nomura does talk about that Kingdom Hearts may come to the Switch, at least 3.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I do like that they finally talk about the reality of that nobody in Japan is going to care about Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 coming to Xbox One, so they're not going to probably make it for Xbox One.
Yeah.
Sorry to people who, only were planning on getting Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox One and don't have a PS4, but it's kind of how it is.
I'm honestly kind of surprised it's coming to those Xbox One, like Kingdom Hearts 3 over here.
Yeah, I'd imagine that the people that got an Xbox One and that's their only console, and you never had a PS3, that'd be kind of surprising.
I mean, I'd honestly be happier if those games came to Steam.
I'm surprised that they haven't tried to do that yet, with as much as Square Enix is doing everything on Steam, and the fact that Disney's not really doing games anymore. You'd think they'd just try to do their best to sell as much as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they would try to just make some big collection of all the games in one for the Switch. That seems like a lot of work, but
yeah, I really doubt that. I don't think it'll come to Switch, honestly. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 might, but I don't think 3 will, unless they take a massive step down visually.
Well, I mean, if he's even talking about it, that's him knowing that you would have to take a step down in visuals.
Yeah.
But. So Atari finally showed off their Ataribox. It has 4 USB ports that you can see clearly in a picture. It does have a wooden grain look to it, and it's also going to have a sort of more black, top as well that makes it look a little bit more modern. It does have an SD card slot and an Ethernet port, I guess, and it will have not only the capability to play Atari games, but also supposedly have modern specs, so I guess you can play PC games?
No, it's probably just means like an emulation box.
Because,
it'll have RetroArch on it or something.
I mean, but why have modern specs if you're not going to play anything modern on it?
Well, it depends on what they define as, modern specs. If they just mean... I mean, it could just be like a Raspberry Pi 3 in there for all we know. I mean, that's modern spec. It's not going to...
Yeah, true.
It's not going to compare to, a PS4 or anything.
I mean, yeah, if you can play, I guess, mobile games and like you said, be an emulation box for up to a certain extent, then...
I think that thing gets hacked, day one, especially with that SD card. An SD card slot and an Ethernet port, yeah, the thing is getting broken open.
I'm guessing they don't care at all.
No.
This better be really low on the poll of how much it costs.
I actually thought it kind of pricey. So.
I mean, it looks sleek.
Yeah.
It looks nice. It's just, okay, if you're going to give me something and charge me $300 for something that's going to get broken open, I don't know about that. Not to mention, it doesn't include anything I'm not paying $300 to play Atari games. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't pay $30 to play Atari games.
No, I'm just saying, okay, what are you actually promising? Are you telling me that basically you're allowing me from day one, you don't care that I can play other games that were never meant to be played on an Atari system? Is that what you're trying to tell me without saying it? And that's why you're going to charge that? It just... I don't know. This seems really
ill-fated,
out of the blue, and just and this is supposed to be crowdfunded too.
Of course, they don't I don't have the money to make this thing.
Like, what are you crowdfunding though? It's like the Ouya.
Y'all know how well that did.
No, I mean this just screams that. Like this screams it's the Ouya bigger.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Great. I have a PC that can do all that. Thanks. But you do you, Atari. I mean, I don't want to smash the like people that may possibly be excited about this. I mean, if there's people out there, but
I don't think there actually is. Like, people who are, like, old enough to remember Atari are either out of games or are still, like, game writers and developers and stuff, but have enough knowledge to know that this is a complete farce. And no one of our generation cares, or younger.
I mean, you're talking about, like, our parents' age here. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. They're out of games. I mean...
Yeah. I mean, if you're 50 and 60 still playing games, I mean, first of all, that's awesome. Secondly, like, it's very few. Because they didn't grow up with it like we would now, where you could probably see people that age playing games.
Well, also, you have to imagine that even if there were, like, 50 and 60-year-olds playing games, they would have enough knowledge to know, like, they lived through the video game crash. Like, they know this isn't the same Atari anymore, and, like, company died.
Yeah, just, I don't know if Atari is just trying to get their name back out there or whatever this is, but...
Yeah, probably.
They're getting attention, but it will be in the wrong kind of way when this thing comes out. So, you know, a series that you tend to play sometimes, Blaze Blue, they're getting across...
I never played it.
Oh, I think I'm confusing it with the other one. The,
Guilty Gear?
Yeah, Guilty Gear. I think they're by the same people.
Yeah.
Or at least have the same publisher.
No, they're maybe the same people. Like I think they lost the Guilty Gear license for a little while, and then they made Blaze Blue instead, and then they got Guilty Gear back, and they're like, well, we got 2 game series now.
So apparently, this is going to be a crossover game with characters from Persona 4 Arena, Under Night in Birth, which I forgot that game existed, and the RWBY anime series. I mean, that's cool and all, and it's tag battle. Those are always sort of fun, but it's not calling my name right now.
I'll say the only reason I care is because of the Persona 4 Arena characters, but I probably won't play this.
Yeah. So, new 3DS production officially ends worldwide. We kind of knew this was happening with the new 2DS XL coming out, which that thing has not gotten great reviews, especially because the thing that makes it to where you can move the screen in different positions is flimsy.
Yeah, the hinge isn't, like, tight at all.
It does not do the 3-point click that you're hearing me do on my new 3DS XL. And it's just, yeah. I mean, I think the novelty of it is right that there's actually a lot of people that, and I liked mine. I just liked the idea of having the better system because I also wanted to play Xenoblade really bad. But
I
had
a buddy who bought a 2DS, like the original one, because he wanted to play the, like, SNES, like, download eShop games.
What?
And then he couldn't because it's not on the 2DS.
Yeah, it's 3DS XL only.
And then he was like, God damn it.
But I've heard a lot of people, even though it has the clunky design, like the 2DS.
Yeah.
You know, so this kind of tries to be the best of both worlds, and I don't know that it works.
I mean, the 3DS is still kind of an expensive system. They should have just, I would say, like, who cares? Like, I guess if they had to make a 2DS, it's one thing for, like, little kids, but, like, the 3DS is still, like, $200 or, like, $180. That's kind of expensive for a system that's 6 years old. At least 5, I know that.
Yeah, I think it's because they have so many games coming out for it still. So to them, it justifies the price. if they had like no games coming out, or this was on its last legs, and they were just trying to get all the old stock out there, I'd agree with you. But they have a lot of games coming for this system.
Yeah.
Which I'm interested in some of them, and I kind of want to check out Ever Oasis, but that will have to wait. Lots of things going on.
A Nintendo 3DS XL on Amazon right now is $250.
Jeez. Ouch. Oh, wait, I thought it was $179 or whatever.
That's because it's on Amazon, and Amazon and Nintendo still don't play well together.
Wow, so they're going to overcharge for it just for the convenience of Amazon?
Well, Amazon isn't actually, it's not being sold by Amazon, it's a third-party seller. Because Amazon doesn't sell them.
Yeah, don't buy it there. You're wasting your money. Ni no Kuni 2 is delayed. 2 months isn't too bad. I want to say I could see it coming from the fact that they only put it on the pre-show of the Sony event or whatever, but you haven't heard a lot about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a surprise when it was announced, but that was kind of it, and they haven't showed that much off since. And I think it'll be good. Like, as long as they're teaching that battle system, it's fine. That's what I did not like about that game.
Yeah, they're apparently tweaking that, and the story is going to be much different than the first game, and all that. So I'm really interested. I enjoyed the first one a lot. One of those many things I have to go back and finish one of these days that ever exists.
Let's be real here. You're not going to finish that game.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I can dream. I can dream one of these days. But PlayStation Home, for some reason, has been recreated using a social game called Atom Universe. It uses the old assets and home content so that you can do new things in the virtual space. And it is free to play, but you get additional things if you pay. I used Second Life as part of a computer class. That's the closest I ever got to PlayStation Home.
That's funny to me.
Yeah, for some reason he thought it was like this. I mean, this is an older guy, right? He thought it was this cool innovation to use Second Life and learn about different things about. I forgot what the class was at. I think it was like computer business or something. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me here. So, totally out of my element using.
There used to be I don't know if it's still going on, but something called Second Life called Project Entropia, and it became Entropia Universe. And it was like Second Life, but it actually had a currency, and you could get it exchanged for money. I'd have rather played that instead.
Seems like Entropia, Atom Universe, maybe.
It's called Entropia. Yeah, whatever. But it's like those social things don't no one cares anymore. I mean, there's a very small dedicated fan base for Second Life, but those people just hide out in their basement all day,
Or the ones that make money from it somehow.
They're just selling to those people though.
I think for VR it works, because I think in VR you are trying to find the social stuff sometimes, and it is a kind of cool scene. But I think if you're just looking at it, you're not.
There's also not enough VR headsets out there in the world, for that to be profitable or be kind of worth your time.
Didn't they say they've sold 1 million?
Yeah, but I mean, we both know a guy who has one, kind of, but I don't talk to him. He doesn't seem to be excited about it or anything.
Right? Yeah, no. He's also
And,
not the type to do all that though either.
and some of the crap that's been coming out for that thing, like the PSVR, isn't like blowing me away. Like the only thing I would want to play on that thing is Rez.
Yeah, Rez, the Until Dawn game apparently wasn't very good
No,
on it.
Batman thing was horrible. Resident Evil 7 looks fine. Like that's the only other thing.
Job Simulator looks good too. That's the only one I hear people talking about a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Farpoint was supposed to be this big game, and
It wasn't.
I don't hear a lot of people talking about it at all, because there's some podcasts I listen to that they really like to talk about the VR just to make sure it doesn't go away, and they talked about that for like 10 minutes, and yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Summer Games done quick eclipsed their previous record. Their new record is now 1.7 million from the 1.29 million they had the previous year. Of course, this all goes to Doctors Without Borders, which is great, and that's cool that they broke their own record.
Yeah, and it was a good event. Like I didn't watch a ton of it. I just watched like Final Fantasy 8 or Final Fantasy 7, which was like 8 hours, I should say, and like a Zelda.
That's
run.
amazing. Final Fantasy 7 in 8 hours.
Yeah, he did like a bunch of weird stuff. Like I think it was called like Step Skip or something like that, or Skip Step, where like he would run in certain spots and walk in others, and like it was timed down to like a very specific formula where like if he messed up once, the game, like the run was over essentially, or something like that.
Wow. You gotta have some time for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
Like, alright. I mean, if you can really figure out how to. I mean, now in the PS4 version that they released, it has all the sort of cheats and whatnot,
Yeah.
so you could do the run.
This is like a bone stock PS1.
Wow. That's amazing.
Or like
honestly.
shaving like 15 seconds off like one scene, like skipping the transition or something. It's like, I mean, God be with you, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't really care. Like, I don't mind, you know, a Tifa introduction or something like that. Like,
yeah, it's 15 seconds, no big deal. Yeah.
the Zelda run is even crazier because the guy had no sword.
Wow.
So, I mean, he was doing dungeons with like the hammer because that's all he had.
You could do it with the hammer, like if he was doing it with the twig or whatever. That would be much more impressive. For me, anyway. That's still amazing what those guys do,
Yeah.
and that it goes to charity. I think that's amazing as well. That there's something for this for people to just go out there, do a run, and they get to give money away to a better cause.
Well, one of the best runs was I was watching Super Metroid, and it was a race between three guys to beat it quickly. And right as I flipped it on, two of the guys lost. They both died.
Oh.
So it was only like the one guy left, and he did it in like 45 minutes.
Wow. That's, again, just amazing what people can do with these speed runs. But a game that you play, I don't. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is getting a first-person mode. This is going to be only for solo and duo player, and then eventually it'll be available for group play. This seems like it makes things even harder.
Yeah, the thing about like Battlegrounds is you really want to have like situational awareness, like looking around all the environment, and this thing restricts your awareness to a degree. So good luck with that.
Good luck surviving.
Yeah.
Even more with that.
I imagine it'll make shooting a little easier though. Like that should hopefully be a little better.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine aiming is much easier when you're in first-person mode than doing it in the other mode that the game has. So
Like it's kind of like behind the back third person.
how do people get? So it's kind of like Gears.
Yeah, but not as close up, and the guy isn't like as like bulky.
That seems really hard.
People like the game.
Are you good at it?
No,
No.
not at all.
It's like me seeing people with the new Fire Pro that came out, and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't even win a grapple." It's like, I don't remember the game being this hard. I was like, well, I don't even want to try at this point. I remember I got good at the GBA one at one point, and it's like, I don't want my dreams just shattered of
Actually,
trying to make that game harder.
From what I understand, like they actually have a tutorial at least, so that's helpful.
Well, I guess either that person just decided not to do the tutorial, or
Like I think John Bond talked about it like last week. Like I think Jeff was like this game, like Fire Pro finally clicked for me after 20 years of playing it.
I mean, you have to lose a lot to learn.
Well, no,
Right.
it's just a tutorial. Like they explain, like it's not a mashing video game. You're supposed to it's like supposed to be timing based.
Right.
And it's like, oh, it would have been nice to know this 15 years ago when it was all in Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, it was, it's very much about, you gotta make sure you're pressing the right grapples, and you're not trying to do strong grapples. You gotta make sure, this is where the stamina system came into play for the 2K games, because you always had to breathe and all that stuff. So it's,
As long as there's like 30 different Virgils out there on the Steam Workshop, that's all I care about.
Yeah, that's what we all need, is 30 different Virgils for that. Sad news that we got to talk about here, as George A. Romero, the man that pretty much brought horror movies into the mainstream, specifically zombie movies. The whole zombie genre owes itself to Mr. Romero. He had recently said that he wasn't a big fan of The Walking Dead and all the new stuff, because it's basically made him being able to do any movies obsolete. And now he's gone. He was obviously an older man, so it's not like one of these where he died young or anything, but leaves a big legacy.
Yeah, but his legacy was like 20 years ago. Like his last good movie was Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Like, I guess Land of the Dead is okay, kind of, but they made two other ones and they sucked hard.
And they totally just nailed it with the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
And the last thing he was working on, I think we even talked about it. It was a podcast or two ago, but he's talking about trying to bring racing zombies, or zombies who drive cars.
Yeah, basically by Terrordome or whatever,
Yeah.
all that Mad Max zombies. Yeah, I don't know about that.
You cannot do that. I'd be much happier.
I could see that maybe as a video game thing, but I don't know about I want to see that in a movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies, these were the other things that they sort of announced at the D23 that were sort of interesting. The live cast for some of the live-action Disney remakes that, good lord, I feel like they just keep adding more to them. Not that I have a problem with them. They've mostly all been good. Just part of me, loves the animated films, so it's kind of hard to really get too excited about these.
That's kind of my problem. I don't I guess it's fine. I just have kind of a philosophical problem. Are you that out of ideas? You're just gonna remake everything that made you popular into live action?
That's what I feel like. It's every single one of their big animated movies is now gonna get a live action, and it's damn, we're just hitting that bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, are you that creatively bankrupt? You say the same thing about Pixar, all those sequels they've been making, but come on.
At least they're making some original things. Inside Out was still one of their best movies.
Yeah.
I think Yeah, I mean, look, I get it, right? Go with the thing that is making you money. That's what Disney's doing. They have Star Wars and Marvel to bank on, so they can kind of do whatever, and then they get hits like Frozen on the animated side, so...
I mean, Frozen is an outlier, though, because the last 3 or 4 movies Disney made, no one really cared.
Well, Tangled was good enough to get the cartoon and everything else.
I'm thinking more what was it, the Princess Frog bombed?
Yeah, Prince and the Frog was their one attempt at coming back with the hand-drawn animation, and that bombed just because it was such a... I like the movie, but it's a very different setting. It's much darker for Disney. I think people didn't care for that too much. I think also I mean, Wreck-It Ralph did fine.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it did fine enough that it has a second movie. The Big Hero 6 also did fine as well. That has a spot in one of the Disney lands or whatever, so...
We're making a cartoon based on it, so...
Yeah. I mean, they seem to be doing okay with their animation. Like, that's the thing, though. They're doing well, and then Pixar's suffering because they're making them do these sequels.
Like, I would be happy... Like, you just said they have Star Wars and Marvel movie... Marvel movie money to back them up. I'd be happy if, Disney went, experimental. Like, if they made, 3 movies that were, just very different from one another and just try to go that route.
I'd love it too, but I feel like they are too scared to go out of the box. Like, they want people to relive the magic, I guess.
Yeah, reliving the magic by remaking a 25-year-old animated movie.
Or in this case, a movie from the 1940s, Dumbo. Tim Burton is directing. Look, I love Tim Burton, but good lord.
I don't. The last Tim Burton movie I liked was Mars Attacks.
The Alice in Wonderland stuff was not good. We can all be honest with ourselves there. Charlie and Chocolate Factory was, woo.
Not good.
No. I'm looking at remakes here.
Remember his Planet of the Apes?
Obviously, not as well received as the ones that have come out now. I'm trying to think. I thought I did like something of his that came out recently.
He did that Demon Barber movie, the musical, and that was okay.
Oh, yes. I did like Sweeney Todd. Yeah. And I know people hate it, but I did like the one that was based off the TV show.
Dark Shadows?
Yes, I liked it. I know a lot of people hated that movie, and it's probably not a good movie, but...
You liked it because it had Ava Green in it, let's be honest.
No, I agreed, but I think the cast worked out well, too. And speaking of, Ava Green is in the Dumbo live-action film, along with Colin Farrell, who Colin Farrell will be the... I think the main character in this, other than Dumbo, and Danny DeVito is also in this. Michael Keaton, so they reunite for the first time since Batman. Nico Parker and Finley Hobbins as well. They'll play the kids.
You know who they should have got to be Dumbo, and he's going to be in another. He's going to be in the next another real life movie. Will Smith.
What? Why?
You don't remember the old Fresh Prince Bel-Air joke about him having big Dumbo ears?
Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna voice it because he has big Dumbo ears?
No, he'll do motion capture.
Well, you did mention Will Smith. He is going to be the genie. I think he could sort of do I'm guessing they're wanting the sort of Robin Williams type role with him there. I think he can do that. And yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Like, his Will Smith star has fallen over the past few years. He seems kind of tired.
I thought he was good in Suicide Squad.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure who you get to like do the genie though. Like that's a conundrum. But I mean, I guess it'll be fine.
Does Gilbert Godfrey still get to do Iago?
I'd say sure. He can still do the voice. My big question is, are they going to get Will Smith to do it in blueface?
I'd imagine he has to be in blue. That genie is blue.
I mean, I think the genie will just be like CGI, honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
I'm just waiting for them to. Oh, go on.
No, especially because I'm sure they don't want to do they could make him look really stereotypical or whatever. So.
No, you know who they get to be the genie? Shaq. Works so well.
Yeah, Shaq Fu. Let's redo that again.
I'm waiting for them to announce Alfred Molina as Jafar.
Now watch it happen.
He's a good Jafar, honestly. Like, he'd be fine.
Yeah, I think he would be. He would do just fine. Guy Ritchie is going to direct. You get Mena Massoud as Aladdin. I have no idea who that is. And Naomi Scott from Power Rangers is going to be Jasmine.
I don't mind her. Like, I think she might need like a darker complexion, like, a tan or something. Right. But she was one of the better parts of Power Rangers, honestly. So.
Well, she was quiet most of the time. Yeah.
I question if they're going to have her be in that outfit, honestly. Like that, her traditional, like, blue pants and, like, blue bra top thing. Like, I doubt that'll fly.
I wonder how true to the animation they're going to do, because obviously they didn't whitewash the character, which was what people worried about. So that's a good step in the right direction. But
yeah, they didn't get Leonardo DiCaprio to play Aladdin.
Oh, thank God. They might have thought about it for a while
It's like that Prince of Persia movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I think that's what they were trying to avoid.
Yeah.
On purpose there. But yeah, I think that's it for the news section here. Of course, there was a lot less for us to talk about in that realm when we did the show originally. So you've been playing a lot of stuff that kind of goes along with our sort of topic here of, well, we are in the mid-year point. This is now the 7th month, so we passed the first 6 months of the year. Our sort of mid-year, game of the year so far discussion here. What you been playing?
Let's see here. I've been playing. Let me scroll up real quick. Nier Automata, which I really love. I'm on my 3rd playthrough of that now. I got like 8 or 9 endings. It's a fantastic game. Like, really good.
I really want to play that game. Everybody says it's awesome.
Yeah, I would say try to play it by the end of the year, because I think it'll probably be in a good, it won't be the game of the year, but it will be up there as far as I'm concerned. I got played and beat Injustice 2, the story mode. It was a good fighter. It'll keep my interest for more than most fighters will, because it has a lot of stuff surrounding it, which is nice, like the challenge towers and collecting gear stuff, which is kind of weird but fun.
How do you like all those endings?
Well, there's only 2. The story mode only has 2 endings, the good or bad ending, really. And I did both of them, and that was fine.
So, but I thought there was 5 or 6 that are actually sort of important to the.
You mean for Nier? Or
yeah.
I thought you meant Injustice. I was like, what are you?
Oh yeah.
No, in Nier I got I got 2 of the main endings so far, and I'm on my third playthrough to get the third one. They're important, like they're good, and then I got like a lot of the joke ones where it's like, "I'll take out your operating system chip and then you die," or like one of them is like, "Go, you're supposed to like go help out this character, but if you just go walk in the other direction, the game ends."
Wow.
It's like instead of helping the village, you just decided to take a walk, and then when you finally went back to the village, it was destroyed, and then game over. Here's the ending.
God.
Like one of them is like you eat a mackerel, and the mackerel like interferes with your cybernetic systems, and then you die.
That's awesome.
But it has really good combat that I'm like pretty challenged. But like it's not that hard, but it is pretty challenging. Like I have a pretty good build right now. Like and customizing your characters is a lot of fun, and like finding all the different upgrades and stuff. And yeah, it's great. One of my favorites. What else? I got World of Final Fantasy. I only played it for like an hour. It seemed okay.
It's very cute.
Yeah, I hope to play it more eventually. Once I get like near done and another Final Fantasy game I'm going to talk about in a second done.
Well, I'm sure Tama is going to drive you up the wall. So
yeah, that's. I mean, we talked about that the last time, but it's a character like that intersperses the into everything, like in between words or even syllables.
It's way too much.
It's like they couldn't get Jar Jar Binks to do it, so they got this other person to do it instead.
Oh. It's really great because it's like, okay, we had to add a little cutesy thing that sort of guides you along. And I get it. Like, the whole game sort of has that aesthetic. Like, just cutesier versions of these Final Fantasy beasts that you see all the time. That's an appeal, right? Like, I think that appeals to certain people. And I thought it was kind of cool when I played it, last year. It just, I don't know. Like, Tama is just like, I can't wait till there's a part where it's not there, and you're like, oh, thank God, not to hear you talk anymore.
Well, it's funny because like I think the part where I just left off was when I met Chocolina, and I'm just like, these two could have an annoying character.
Yeah, Chocolina's on there too. Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah.
Let's see. I guess the other big thing I've been playing in Final Fantasy XII, Zodiac Age.
Yeah, me too. You're farther than I am.
Which is ironic because you've played that game before and I have not.
Right. The things they did change help and hurt the game. I think the job system is from the international version, which we did not get. 'Cause, like, I remember when you get to that point where you get to pick the job for Vaughn, I was like, I don't remember this part. And I was like, oh, this is part of the new stuff.
Well, that's actually, like, I screwed up my game initially because they're like, you get a bracelet and it's like, go in the job system, pick a job, and like select accessories and you can equip the bracelet. And I'm like, okay. And the first job was like white mage, and I just picked that because I didn't know like there were other jobs available, or they didn't explain like this might not be the best job for this character. So I played that for like an hour, and then I read up on it, and I'm like, I should go back and like reload a save.
Yep. Now I have to go back and play part of the game. I just went with the default, like what he was when I remember playing, which is the thief, like Shikari character, because he has a dagger. Which I think works for it. I'm not a big fan of the license system that they added, because you had to go all over that board, which was already sort of messy, and find the thing that you want, and then you have to get to it, like the spear grid, and you're like, oh man, this is annoying.
I wish it was kind of just a quick search function, like, yo, like Shields 3 is not in this license, like, are not in this job, or like Black Magic 4 is, or something like that. Like, that'd be helpful. But I think the system itself is better than the sphere grid. Like, that thing was a nightmare to get around.
Yeah, especially once you get the international version, which lets you do whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, oh, now I'm even more lost than I was before. Thanks.
I think this figured for me, because I was on the PS4 version. I think I missed like a critical spell with, I want to say Lulu. So I had to go like all the way, like basically like halfway back through my sphere grid to like activate it. And I'm like, God damn it! Like, this is terrible.
That sounds awful. They have to go all the way back through there and do that. And it's just like, oh. Yeah, I do like the, I have learned to appreciate the battle system a lot more than when I first did when I was younger.
See, I'm very, I wouldn't say bothered, but I'm just confused by it. Like, I know it's supposed to be like very automatic with the gambit system, but
Right.
like three of my characters, like my other three party members, kind of do what I tell them to do, but I haven't figured out how to like make the party leader just like pick one foe and keep attacking it.
There's, I think, a gambit for that or an option for that
Like,
you have
I
to.
want to like pick one. You know, I initially had one that was like, if the monster is attacking my party leader, he'll attack back. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But then sometimes the party leader wouldn't be like targeted, so then my party leader would just sit there like an idiot. And another one was like, if the monster has 100 HP, 100% HP, attack it. So he'd attack one creature, and that was it.
Yeah, you have to find the right balance with those things, and you have to buy them, which is another little issue. You don't just earn them. I think, I don't know. Like you can also manually override it too. So I found that like it's good for certain things, and then for certain other things, it's kind of like I don't want to use this. So yeah, I do like the hunts. Obviously, you know, they kind of inspired the 15 hunt deal. This one's much more structured to get you to do the hunts. They're not required, but they kind of are for certain story things.
Not really. I mean, I guess side quests, but it reminds me like a lot of Final Fantasy 15 hunts. It's like,
yeah,
well, just go here and kill this thing if you can, and run on back.
And get this special item, and then you got to go find the license for it, which that's a whole nother.
Like I'm kind of mystified also by like the NIST system. Like I'm not sure what the hell that is. If it's just like a limit break or like it keeps finding me like shuffle or charge it, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, that's what that is. It lets you decide if you want to do the limit break or if you want to do something else with it. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it's like shuffle or charge or like do the attack, and I'm like, what is shuffle or charge?
They should have had a tutorial for that to explain to you.
They just like, well, they're just like, well, you activated on the menu, so here you go, or on the license board, and I'm like, I don't know what it actually does.
Yeah, that should have been explained. I do think the characters for the most part are really good, and there's a lot of Star Wars in there.
Yeah, it's like a lot like Rogue Galaxy to me.
Yeah, that too. A lot of people like to complain about Vaughn. Do you like Vaughn?
He's fine. He's just like prototypical, like, you know, wants to get out, like wants to become a pirate or like a, you know, rebel leader or something, like Star Wars, and, you know, meet the princess and save the day. Which is, I mean, it's acceptable. I think it's better than like Titus, which he had one of the like worst motivations ever. I'm mad at my daddy.
Yeah, I got daddy issues. Oh, but then it became I need to save. I need to do this for Yuna, so I guess it was better than the daddy issues.
Through, and then like there was like no chemistry between them either.
It was very, very forced.
Like, say what you will, but like at least like Renoa from Final Fantasy VIII kind of had some of a character.
Yeah, and that one did not feel forced. That actually felt like a thing. Like the Titus and Yuna was kind of like, All right. Well, we have to be around each other a lot, so let's just do stuff.
But
And yeah.
the only other thing about the characters is what's her name? Fran's voice actress is really weird.
I agree. I don't remember the voice right this second because I haven't gotten there.
Okay.
I do remember it being like...
It's like very British, but she's also like the woman is Australian, so it sounds like kind of like especially like weirdly clipped.
Yeah, like it's not like the full like British, and then her voice is like almost like mousy or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
well, it's like very deep, but yeah, it still has like a kind of a weird like sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm at the point now where I think I just picked up Ash.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I remember that.
I mean, that's probably not too far. I mean, it's further than you, but it's not. I don't think too far in the overall game.
No, it's not that far. I remember liking Balthier a lot. That was my favorite guy.
He seems fine, and like the other guy you have seems okay also, like the other like captain guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems okay. Like I'll try to. We're gonna try to do a tag team review of it at some point, but I'll try to kind of keep hammering away at it.
Yeah, I mean it's a really good game. Again, like now you can have all your between the PS3 and PS4, you can have all your Final Fantasies, I guess, other than 11.
Well, I made the joke on Twitter, like for a guy who doesn't like Final Fantasy that much, it's weird how I have every main Final Fantasy game on PS4.
Yeah.
Except for Final Fantasy 14, which isn't like a main. You know, I wouldn't call that a Final Fantasy.
They'll call it a main in the number, but it's not a main in the game that it is.
Yeah.
So. Anything else you want to...
let's see. I picked up Tony Hawk HD, because I think that is getting delisted tomorrow. And it's bad. It's not a good game. Yeah. It doesn't feel right. It looks cheap. And I'd stick with Tony Hawk Pro, since I actually have a copy of that.
Well, there you go. If you didn't care about it before, you can keep not caring about it. So you watched I only watched the first episode, the Castlevania Netflix series.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I mean, it's a movie divided into 4 parts.
Right, yeah.
I think it's fine, like, for what it is. It's pretty violent, which is good, and it has some small bits of humor. And they're like the bad guys are comically bad, like over-the-top bad. But it seemed good. Like, the last episode's probably the best one, because it seems to like really get into like what Castlevania is going to be.
That's what kind of sucks, is like right when it gets to the part where you're like, oh, this is starting to get good. Oh, yeah, it's the end.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
there's
I mean,
8 more coming, but...
Yeah, that's the good thing is there's going to be 8 more. And also, this thing was announced and released pretty quickly. So
yeah, I was surprised when I heard it was coming. I was like, wait, didn't they just announce this? Like,
yeah. So I have to imagine either they've been working on the other, like, the more episodes, like, already, or they may have a very quick pipeline. Like, I don't see how, but they might.
they could.
Yeah, it's good. Like, I'll watch when season 2 comes out. I'll watch it.
Well, I mean, of course, now he's going to go on to make the Assassin's Creed anime, so...
That might be good. Like, it'll probably be better than the movie.
Yeah, I just think video games have a better way of translating through there than they do live action. Not that they can't do live action, but it's just we've seen that it's very few the amount of movies that succeed.
What we talked about the last time is they always introduce it's never about like the actual games.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mortal Kombat is the best video game movie because it is really about it's just the video game in movie form. Like, they don't introduce any characters, or it's not anything like really off the wall. Like, it's pretty faithful to the games, which is what you want. And Annihilation was not, that's why it sucked. But you have movies like Resident Evil or Assassin's Creed that just introduce characters that like aren't like in the games, and they making the whole focus of the movie.
Yep. Or they try to focus too much on this one thing about the game, and it's like, well, that one thing was not the major part of it. It was the worst part. Thanks.
Like, I'm still dumbfounded by like that Resident Evil movie. Like, the fact they had a 6-film franchise is like legitimately terrifying to me.
Well, you know why? Because
more scary than those movies ever were. But also, like, it's based on a character like that is amnesiac for 80% of those movies. Like, she has no personality. And then, like, why wasn't the first Resident Evil movie about Resident Evil?
I guess they were thinking nobody, or the people, they wanted to not alienate the casual audience.
He had characters like Rain, or whatever the hell Mila Jovovich's character is, Alice. And
Alice,
yeah. Like, why am I supposed to care about these people? Are any of them the master of unlocking? No?
Nope.
Fuck off.
But hey, they had to have her and Ali Larder in there plenty of times, so.
I think Ali Larder was, Claire Redfield?
Yeah, she was Claire.
Like, she could kind of pull it off, but like, she didn't have a lot to do with it. Like, the character was just named Claire Redfield. Like, it didn't have a lot to do with like the actual character.
Right. They just like, oh well, we needed to have a Claire. Oh, we needed to have a Jill in the second one, and Nemesis had to show up because.
And I think like Chris Redfield is in like Resident Evil 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's just like, okay. That other main guy, he's not in the games either, right? The main guy that sort of saves them.
I don't know. I can't tell you nothing about those guys in those movies because no one cares about them. I know Kmart isn't a big character in the video game series.
Yeah. Well, none of my Kmart is closing.
Or in the retail space nowadays.
Yeah. So, it's
I thought Castlevania is fine. Like, I assume Assassin's Creed will be good. I'd actually be more interested in him doing the Metroid show, because
that'd be great.
That opens like a lot more. It's more open to interpretation, or like he could be like a little more creative with it.
Yeah, plus I'd love to see Metroid. Like, you get to have this like sci-fi show with a character you actually know. I mean,
the only real problem with Metroid, honestly, would be like it's usually just her on the planet. Like, except for Other M, which people didn't like, but it's usually just, like, Samus is a solitary person on a planet, like, blasting away aliens. I'm not sure how much characterization there would be there.
They could add other characters into it for the show, though.
Yeah. Captain N. He just shows up.
Captain N. Like, Star Fox just appears. Like, why not at that point? I think, do we have anything else that we
I played Mass Effect Andromeda, and it was bad.
Yeah, about that.
That's it.
And there's people that feel like it's great, so. Alright, so we're going to have to do this a lot faster than we did the other. We did it the other way around because there was less news to talk about, so this took up a lot more of the conversation. But so Game of the Year like discussion here from the first 6 months. Obviously, when you're looking at January, I think Resident Evil 7, that kind of stands out.
Yeah.
Then you get into...
And Yakuza. I think that came out in January, too.
Yeah, Yakuza came out 3 days before that, which that's one hell of an awesome game. I think I've played the other Yakuza before. You had not. I think this is definitely a Yakuza that if you're coming into the series, you could pick it up and play.
Yeah, I did. And I think it has like a much better gameplay mechanics than the earlier ones did also. Like, they weren't great.
Yeah, the fighting system was easier, and you had the games that you got to play and all that stuff too. So that was fun. Of course, you had the Kingdom Hearts 2.8, but I wouldn't really count that.
That's not going to get any Game of the Year discussion.
No, it's not. The Neo, which the person that played that was Stephanie. She's not on this podcast with us, but Dark Souls meets Ninja Gaiden. Heard a lot of great things.
Yeah, like a more action-oriented version of like Dark Souls, which is good.
With the challenge of it. For Honor, I think, winds up being the first big AAA game that's sort of a flop.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's people playing the multiplayer, but like I don't hear anybody ever talking about that game.
Not many. Like, I saw a post just, I think, a day or two ago, like, one of the community managers was like, no, people are still playing, you guys. It's like, no one is.
No, they're not. I thought Halo Wars 2 was pretty good. I don't know that it's going to be in Game of the Year discussion, but, it's a very good just update from the first one. Horizon Zero Dawn, of course.
Yeah, I liked it. Good game. People kind of forgot about it, but I think the core gameplay holds up really well in that game. I think Zelda came out and kind of stole its thunder.
Oh, yeah, I think when you have a brand new system and then Zelda comes out and it's freaking as great as it is, it's very hard to sustain what you had with Horizon Zero Dawn. I heard a lot of people complain that the world is too big.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't. It is closed off in certain degrees, but yeah, it is a very large world, and you do get like fast travel, but just getting around can be kind of a hassle at points. Especially when you're getting stomped on by machines.
Yeah, especially during that part. I think Zelda's also huge. They've now just added the DLC. It is a great game, obviously a very beautiful game. The best game on the Switch, probably going to be in that top 3 discussion for best, game of the year for a lot of people. Just everything people have said about it, it does live up to the hype, for me anyway, and for almost anybody else that I've talked to about the game. You talked about Nier. I still want to play that really badly.
Yeah. Go GameFly it. Renting from a Redbox.
Perhaps, yeah. Let's see could you really get something done in a weekend with that?
No. I don't think Redbox really does games anymore either.
Well, my Redbox has like all the games.
I think I went to a Redbox recently, and like they had like some Snoopy game for PS4, and that was it. Like
maybe because they're all checked out.
No, they didn't. They weren't out of stock. They had like one PS4 like Snoopy game, and that was it. Like,
wow.
No Xbox 360, no PS3, which is fine, but no Xbox One or Switch either. And I was like, all right.
That's weird. The one that I'm around, they have
Redbox used to also have like. I was gonna say Redbox used to have like game sales also.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see them doing that at all like lately.
Yeah, it seems to just be in certain areas. Like it's either you get all of them or you get nothing.
Yeah.
You get also something to mention here. I think is from March. I don't think there was after Nier. It's kind of quiet after that. And of course, then you get Persona 5.
Yep, I liked it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. One of the best looking games with its art style of this entire year. And then it does Persona stuff, and the battle system is great.
This is something we actually did forget about last time. We also get Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Well, yes, you do have to talk about Puyo Puyo Tetris finally coming over to the United States. That's a big deal. I mean, I don't know how many people really, aside from you, that were like totally excited about it, but it's still cool.
Like me and one other dude on Twitter keeps bugging me to play him online.
Yeah, I feel like another one is Ghost Recon and Yooka-Laylee, both kind of mixed reviews on that.
Game went.
Yeah, just a lot of people not liking Yooka-Laylee, the 3D representation there.
I mean, you got better reviews than like Mighty Number 9, but that's not saying a ton.
No, not at all on that one. What Remains of Edith Finch is actually really good. People should check that out, along with Night in the Woods, Snake Pass, and Little Nightmares as far as indie games. I really enjoy Little Nightmares. It's very similar to Inside. It's not going to take you very long. It sort of follows that same kind of through line of you're going across a level, side scrolling, whatever, but there's so much there to look at as you go through that it's really well worth the price. Of course, you got Mario Kart 8. It's Mario Kart. We know what that is. It's great.
Yeah.
Prey.
I liked it. It had a lot of technical issues, but if you kind of ignore that, it really holds up as a good BioShock successor.
Yeah, that's what I heard a lot of people compare it to. System Shock, BioShock. It's some Dishonored in there. It seems like I don't know how much it'll still be there when you get to August, September, October, November when these big games are coming. But it should be one that hopefully people don't forget about because it's.
I'd put it in like a top 10 list.
Yeah, certainly. We are doing a top 15 list, which now we have to write the blurbs for, and then we'll finally get that one out there for everybody. I think after that you just go to. Oh yeah, Phantom Dust finally came out. Aren't we all excited about that? The remaster.
I know of no one who played it.
Yeah, and they made it free out of nowhere, and it was just like, okay. You talked about Injustice 2.
Yeah, good. Probably the best fighting game of the year so far. Except for Tekken 7 might be a contender, but I think I prefer Injustice more.
I'm a big Tekken fan. This game's really good. I wish I could play it. Austin's the one that has it for review for us, but it's still a very very good fighting game, and it's Tekken. I mean, you got all those characters, so plus you can dress up with Bullet Club and Okada, so
yeah.
I feel like ARMS is really good, but I don't see a lot of people talking about it. Probably also because Splatoon comes out in a couple of days, and everybody's been excited by that instead. But still a pretty good game. I don't know that it'll be in the conversation at all, but it's there.
Yeah, I think Splatoon 2 is gonna kind of make people forget about ARMS.
And I should mention Nex Machina is a really good twin stick shooter for PS4 and PC. People should check that out. Honestly, if you're into that kind of game, it's one of the best ones out there. And of course, Crash, which it's Crash remastered. It's apparently even harder, and yeah, it's still. I think people remember it more fondly than it was, but
yeah, nostalgia with that game's been kind of a bitch.
yeah. And we've got plenty of things to kind of look forward to here in this last couple weeks of July, heading into August. You got Splatoon 2 You got Pyre. Hey Pikmin's coming out. Tacoma comes out at the beginning of August. Hope that's actually winds up being good. Hellblade. That Agents of Mayhem game.
Oh, that's good.
I know a few people that are really excited about it. So I hope it is good for them. And then the Uncharted game, of course, at the end of August. So lots of people just sort of forgetting about that there, but people will be all over it when it comes out.
And Windjammers is coming out like the end of August also, finally.
Oh yeah. So also the Yakuza Kiwami also comes out. Life is Strange Before the Storm episode 1, which I know you're excited about.
I'm excited for both those games.
And Madden, and of course Mario Rabbids, which I'm excited about Mario Rabbids.
What about Madden?
It's Madden. I mean, like you like to make that joke. It's all about that truck stick, right?
Yep.
So, all right. Well, this one actually did record, so you'll be able to listen whenever you do.
Nice. I don't have to do this for the third time.
Yeah, please
Same
don't.
dumb jokes.
But appreciate you guys checking it out. If you enjoyed what you heard, whether it's on 401, whether it's on WTMNet, whether it's on YouTube or anywhere else that you can listen to podcasts, you can hit subscribe right there. You can comment right there. Let us know what you think are some of the best games of this year. And we will be seeing you sometime next week with more game news and whatever else is going on. And we'll see you then, everybody.
Later.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.